let us talk about lubricants, okay? The best time to use lubricants and the type of lubricants to use. Because I've seen that this is a concern for a lot of people. In fact, a lot of people shy away from the use of lubricants because they think it's an embarrassing thing to do. Like when you talk about lubricants, people want to argue that, oh no, me, I'm very wet, I don't need it. Like, so you don't really need to have a defect or an issue with your body to use a lubricant. A lubricant is just something that makes life a little bit more, easy. Okay, it just makes the whole intimacy thing a little bit more enjoyable. So let us talk about the use of lubricants, how to use it, what type of lubricants to use, and why you should use a lubricant. So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Real Talk with IJ. Let us quickly jump into this video. But if you're not yet subscribed, please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my videos. I make really exciting videos and I don't want you to miss out on any of them. And I also have a Patreon, so if you want to talk to me directly, please join my Patreon. The link is in the description box. You get to talk to me one-on-one on all things that concerns love, sex, and relationship. Or if you have, like a dating issue, I can always, come in handy. All right, so now let us talk about, when to use a lubricant. And the very first, I have my app right here, that's what I'm looking down. So the very first reason why you want to be using a lubricant is if as a man, you're on the larger side. Yes, if your big man is very big and the woman you are with, is really tight, it's very advisable to use a lubricant so you don't cause any kind of pain. Now, just like there are people on the large side, there are people on the smaller side also, because I know a lot of men don't want to hear that you have a small thing. They think the woman is just wild, it's just bigger. No, there are some men that are on the small and there are some men that are on the big size. Okay, and it doesn't really matter. Honestly, to me, size doesn't really matter. If you don't know how to use it, you don't know how to use it. Okay, so the most important thing is to know how to use it. But anyways, if you're on the larger side and each time you try to go in with your woman, she's always, it's always kind of painful, or you even find out that she bleeds. Yes, some people do have tear after intimacy. So if you're on the big side, please buy a lube. Okay, buy a lube, because you know what makes us feel lubricated during intercourse is when your pre-cum as a man meets the woman's juicy honey pot. Okay, that's what creates that wetness. So sometimes even that wetness is not enough, because maybe you have to go inside for the wetness to mix. So that act of going inside is what causes pain and tear. And once there's pain, once there's discomfort, nobody can enjoy it. That's the honest truth. So pain and discomfort, if you're on the big side, is one of the reasons why you should have a lube. All right. Secondly, there are a lot of women that naturally do not get very wet. I mean, it's not something to be ashamed of. Everybody was built differently. Okay, there are some women that sometimes it could be a medical condition, or it could just be a natural thing that, she's not able to, bring all of those juice. All right. So if you are in that condition, rather than stressing yourself and using saliva, because saliva is not even advisable, you could have herpes, there could be it's just not really healthy to use saliva. So if you've noticed that your woman does not naturally, bring all of those juice, and you find out that it's usually very dry when you're doing the do, then this is the right time for you to get a lubricant. And there's nothing to be ashamed of when getting a lube. So if your woman is usually on the dry side, definitely please go buy one of these lubes. Thirdly, if you just want to try something new, yes, sometimes getting the lube is just because you want to try something new, because the wetter the better, honestly. All right, so if you feel like, what, I want us to try something, because there are different type of lubricants. There's some lubricants that when you apply, you feel like minty inside. There are some that when you apply, you feel like ice cold inside. There are some also when you apply, you feel very warm inside. Okay, I don't know what they used to make all of these lubes, but sometimes it gives you those tingling sensation right inside as a woman, or even as a man on your big man. So if you just want to try something new, if you feel like, okay, maybe this is a good idea, I just want to try it, let's try something new, yes, go get a lubricant. There's nothing to be ashamed of. All right, another time when you be needing a lubricant is if you are on the older side, like if you're getting older as a woman, you're heading towards menopause, and you as a man during menopause and like during that old age time, it's really not very easy for a woman to get really wet. And also as a man, it's not very easy to have your big man doing all of the magic easily, okay, or bringing out that pre-cum that makes it easy to mix up with the woman's juice. So in that age, it is advisable that you get lubes. Okay, it's your best friend, rather than having boring sex, or always being depressed and angry and pain because you're not having good sex. Buy a lube. It will make a lot difference, a lot better. It's going to be like a lot better. What am I saying? Okay, so make sure you get a lube. If you're getting older and you're in that, yes, lubricant will make it easy. It's even going to be very easy for your woman to put it on her hands and make your big man to stand. Okay, rather than struggling and struggling and struggling and everything is feeling dry. Get a lube if you're getting older. It will be your best friend and to make sex enjoyable rather than struggling to even get started. So it's definitely important that in these situations you get a lube. A lube is a man's best friend and a woman's best friend too when it comes to intercourse. Now, also some people have asked, how do you apply a lubricant? Now, there are only two ways to apply a lubricant, honestly. You can either put it on the man's big man, okay, on what he's working with. You can put it on there because anyways, he's the one sticking it in. So if the man's big man is already like covered in lube, it's already slippery. So once it goes towards the entrance channel, it's just going to slide right in. Okay, so you can put it, as a man, you can put it on yourself before you go in, and then as a woman you can just put it right around the entrance. You can just put some on your hands and just rub it down there, and the man will just slide it and put it in. You know what I mean? So like those are like the only two ways that you can use a lubricant. So it's not really that difficult to know. All right, so let us talk about the types of lubricants that you can use. Now, before we talk about the types, let us talk about the products. Okay, now there are lubricants in the market that is labeled lubricants. I'm not talking about car lubricants. So there are some lubricants that are for engines, engine oil kind of lubricant. Those are not what you want. So don't be going to a car garage to buy lubricant. Those are not going to work. So go to your normal sex stores, in your environment. If you're in the UAE, it's very difficult to get in. I don't think there's any sex store in the UAE, but like any product that is labeled lubricant and it's for sexual pleasure, yes, those are the products you want to be buying. Okay, another type of lubricants you can use are edible oils. Now, edible oils could be olive oil, what's it called, almond oil, coconut oil. Is one of the best edible oils that you can use as a lubricant, because if you can eat it and you can rub it on your skin, that means it's not going to really affect you if it goes through the other channel. Okay, but one thing for sure, before you use any product, whether it's the edible one, even if it's the one labeled lubricant for sexual pleasure, make sure you do like a patch test on your skin. So take that oil, that coconut oil, almond oil, olive oil, any edible oil that that you can use to cook because in your house. So take that oil and rub on a part of your skin, because some people are allergic to coconut oil, some people are allergic to olive oil and all of those things. So make sure you put on your skin for at least 30 minutes and 30 minutes to 1 hour to see if you're going to get any form of reactions. Now, if you have any itchy feeling, tingling sensation, rash, redness, please do not use. So even if you go to the supermarket and you buy a lubricant that is for sexual pleasure, like there's Kiss lubricant, there's also like Gold Circle, there are so many lubricants in the market. Okay, so if you go buy any of them, make sure you rub it on a part of your skin, maybe your hands or your laps. Okay, 30 to 1 hour, and check if you're going to have any tingling sensation or any irritations. Now, if you notice any irritations, please do not use it. Okay, it just shows that it's going to give you issues also down there. Okay, so make sure you test patch before you go into using that lubricant. So now let us talk about the types of lubricants. The very first type of lubricant is the water-based lubricant, and the water-based lubricant is very good. Okay, and it's usually very cheap. Now, with this water-based lubricant, it will not stain your sheet. One of the good side, it's not going to stain your sheet because it's just water. Like, it feels like water, so it doesn't have any color or any stickiness to it. All right, now the downside of the water-based lubricant is that it dries off quickly because it is made up of more water than any other thing that is going to make it a lubricant. So it will dry off quickly, and you have to keep reapplying as long as you are still intimate with your partner, because you're going to feel dry as soon as possible. But it is very good, it's very healthy, and it's usually on the cheaper side. So water-based lubricant is one of the types of lubricants that that is good to use. The second type of lubricant is the oil-based lubricant. Now, the oil-based lubricant definitely lasts longer than the water-based lubricant because it's oil, so you know it will be there for a while. Okay, it's also cheaper. I think it should even be the cheapest because you might have it in your house. So those are like the coconut oil, the olive oil, the almond oil, all of the edible oils that you know that you can use to cook and eat. All right, yeah, so you can use some of those as your oil-based lubricants. And the downside is it can stain your sheets. Okay, if you have white sheets like me, it will stain your sheet, so it's advisable to put something like a towel so that you don't stain your sheet and all of that. But yes, it will last longer than the water-based lubricants. And yeah, and it's also very healthy and it's very affordable. Now, another thing about the oil-based lubricant is please do not use it with latex condoms. All right, it is not good with your condoms, so I will not advise you to really use oils when you want to use your latex condoms because it can cause your condoms to tear. So if your plan is not to get her pregnant and now go to paternity court to argue if you are the father or not, please do not use oils with your latex condoms because it can cause some tears. Yes, it can cause some tears on that condom, so it's not very advisable to mix it up. So if you're going to use latex condom, then maybe go for like water based lubricants and not oil. All right, and the last type of lubricant is the silicone based lubricant. Now this is one of the best lubricants. Okay, I think it's better than the oil and also better than the water. I don't know, for me I just think so because it lasts longer. Okay, you can also use it with your condoms. You don't have to be scared of tears or anything. It's mostly the kind of lubricants that you can get from like Kiss condom and all of those because it will last longer. It's very slippery and slimy and really good, and those are the ones also that you can, you know, that has like flavors and all of that. So the silicone based lubricant is also very good, and yes, you can use it with your condom. You don't have to be afraid of any tears and spillage and all of those. They're stronger and they are definitely not cheaper. Okay, so the water and the oil based lubricants are way cheaper than the silicone based lubricant. So I hope you now understand everything about lubricants, and if you have more questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section or follow me on Instagram to ask me your personal questions in my DM, or better still, join my Patreon where you get to talk to me directly one-on-one on anything as it concerns love, sex and relationships. So make sure you like this video and share it so other people can see. So I will see you next time. If you're not yet subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for, so please make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my videos. I'll see you next time. Keep living life, keep being champs, and bye for now. Mwah.